Your ministry is not inviting people to come to your church. It's not inviting people to hear your pastor preach. It's not, no, ministry is actually being the presence of God where you work, where you live, where you play. Ministry is when you take what God has uniquely created you to be and to do, and fashioned you uniquely to do, and to use that gifting, to use that unique talent that God has given you, the unique combination of who you are, uniquely fashioned by the history that God has ordained on your life, and to take that and to use it to bring the glory of Christ in it. So if God fashioned you to be a baker, bake for the glory of Christ. That is ministry. You don't need to pass out a flyer for it to be ministry. It's ministry. If God called you to be a lawyer for the glory of Christ. If he called you to be a businessman for the glory of Christ. If he called you to be a nurse for the glory of Christ. It's in the work that you do that your work is ministry. People go, well, I need to pray for people while I work. Guess what? That's a part of it. But you don't need to pray for people while you work. In your work, you're giving glory to Christ. And in your work, because you do good work, that in and of itself is ministry. If you are doing good work, you are participating in the ministry of renewal of the earth. Too many people, and I can't emphasize this enough, and I can't say this enough, too many people feel like they don't really do ministry. There are too many folks who feel like they're not really, it's the pastors that do ministry. It's the, those people on the stage who are preaching, those are the ones who are doing ministry. But me, I'm just a chef. That's all I do. But I don't do the important stuff. There are businessmen who feel like, all I do is conduct business. I don't do anything impressive. It's the pastors that do the real important work. Fam, your work is your ministry. If you do good work, you're participating with God in the renewal and in the recreation of the earth. That's an incredible work that you're doing. If you're in the field of education, you are doing ministry. That's God's work. If you are a janitor, you're doing God's work. If you are working in landscaping, you are doing God's work because you're bringing beauty to the earth, restoration to the earth. You're bringing order to the earth. And in doing that, you're participating with God. The Creator God is creating and recreating over and over through you. So stop thinking of, the pastor as the one doing the ministry. No, actually, the pastor's job is to equip you to do ministry. If you're doing computer networking, fam, that's ministry as well. I see y'all. You're doing ministry. I want you to think about this for a second. Right now, I'm on a phone. And on that phone, somebody programmed and coded that phone so that I can put this phone in front of me and talk to this phone. And in talking to this phone, to save the video on the phone and the audio on the phone. And then I can go on another app on that phone. And on this other app on the phone, I can edit this so that it can look better and create, filters and change how it looks so that it's pleasing to the eye and pleasing to the ear. Somebody designed that. And it's that person's design that makes it possible for a guy like me to communicate with hundreds and thousands of followers. Don't tell me that's not God's work. Don't tell me that. And don't tell me that that doesn't have more impact than what I'm doing right now. Y'all, just think about this for a second. I got about 100 of you right now on TikTok. I've got 700,000 followers on TikTok. I've got about almost 60,000 followers on Instagram. I now have almost 12,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've got all of y'all on all these platforms. Would any of you know who I was and heard anything I had to share concerning the love, the grace, and the message of Jesus had it not been for a person who creatively thought through the design of this phone. Who's making the most impact right now? Here's the reality. There's some of you right now who are making infinitely more impact than your pastor could ever make from a pulpit. And here's the reality is we have not taught the believers that your work is ministry. You are doing God's work. It's not just about, let me pray for you. It's about showing the world what God looks like when he reorders and restores the earth. It's about doing good business. It's about seeing how you do business. And for people to inquire about what motivates you and moves you to do it. It's about being filled with the Spirit of God, to then find the opportunities even in the midst of the work that you do and the respect that people have for the quality of work that you do, that when you actually share the love and the message of Jesus, they see you beyond simply just a person who's passing out a flyer. They see you as one who is intimately engaged with the renewal and restoration of the earth. We need to change our eschatology. I'm ranting, y'all, but we need to change our eschatology. We need to stop thinking of an eschatology that's just about people dying and going to heaven. That was not God's plan. It wasn't about people dying and going to heaven. We got this wrong. I know we like singing the one glad morning, when this life is over, I'll fly away. That is not scripturally, that is not central to the scripture. What is central to the scripture was God bringing restoration to the earth through the restoration of humanity. He's creating a new heaven and a new earth. He's actually not trying to pull you out of earth to send you to heaven. He's actually going to restore the earth to put your body in it in eternity in his glory. And so if he's giving us a glorified body on an earth that will be fully restored, then our mindset has to be changed, where we're not looking to leave a broken world, but that we're participating with God in bringing healing and restoration to a broken world. Christ is coming to rule the earth. He sits on the throne of the earth. Heaven is his throne. The earth is his footstool. When we rewire our thinking, not into, hey, I just want to do whatever needs to be done to go to heaven, but rewire our thinking to, I am here to participate with God in the renewal of the earth. It changes our whole perspective about what the church is, how the church runs, how the church functions.